Hello guys, Simon David here, and welcome back to SpongeBob SquarePants Valve for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Yes, I am in the Flying Dutchman's graveyard right now. Why do you ask? Anyways, do you hear that? No, you don't. That's the point. I am now on the PS5, so there is no annoying whirring in the background anymore. I hope that improves the viewing experience at least a little bit. Hey, just a quick little thing here just to say that I accidentally kind of messed up here. So the mic audio does crackle at times throughout the video. Basically right here I'm just explaining that we're going to pick up anything that we missed along the road and then going to be grinding up to 79,500 shiny objects. So sorry about that, but I hope you enjoy the video either way. Now here I was actually wrong about what I said. I said that you need to actually hit this with the cruise bubble in the original video, but I later learned that that actually isn't the case. Let's see if I can get the trick here. If I don't get it on the first attempts, I'll cut until I get it. Okay, cutting. Just like that.
Is the most satisfying.
Now what you're supposed to do is, it doesn't really matter from what side you hit it on as far as I know, but you're supposed to hit the button with the cruise bubble, as you can see by what the spatula is titled, "Come back with the cruise bubble." I wonder what you need for that. Anyways, there are just 2 more socks that you need to get after that. One of them is way back in the very first area of the whole game, and I made you wait until the very end to see how you get it. I messed up. It's right up here.
Just my size.
I probably foreshadowed this in the original video, but I obviously did not tell you how to actually get it. It's actually fairly annoying because, like, in the original game, it would always, like, guaranteed give you a strike, but now it doesn't. You could always use the cruise bubble if you have it on. Okay, never mind. You could in the original. I'm just as good at bowling in this game as I am in real life.
Hey, you! Patrick needs to do laundry.
I think the last time I went bowling was like, I went out with my mom for like my 20th birthday, which was a year ago at this point, and she and I did do some bowling near the end of it. We were at like this arcade or something. But anyways, that's not really relevant. Nope, not there. The final sock we're looking for is over here.
Oh, sparkly!
What did I land on? Did I just land on an invisible wall or something? Well, an invisible floor, I guess? You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, there's a reason that I went over here first, instead of to downtown first. Where is it? It's on this side. Right down here. Now right here is, you step on this, those spawn in, you hit them all with the cruise bubble, and then you get a sock. However, there's a However, again, there's a way to do this without actually having the cruise bubble. The only sock that you can't get in a cheesy way is actually the one I just showed you, the one with the bowling. Anyways, I'm going to cut again until I go over and get Patrick, because he's important for this. Okay, well, that's not what I normally do for this. Normally, I go over there and grab the stone tiki, that's by the Tartar up there for the Stone Tiki tutorial, but what I just did also works.
I will crush them!
Oh,
We gotta carry a lot of stuff around.
if that fodder had hit me, he would have made me drop the thing, so that's why I had to do that. Let's take care of this guy. And up we go.
Present everyone!
This is only possible because Rehydrated is a broken mess. Anyways,
Oh goody, another one.
and there we go. So now I'm going to be grinding out shiny objects. To be exact, I need to get 79,500 of them. Yeah, we're going to be here a while, so that's why I have decided to talk about some subjects in order to pass the time. If you would like to skip this area, if you would like to skip this section of the series entirely, I won't blame you for a second, because honestly, this is just me destroying something, jumping off and killing myself, then respawning over and over again. But for those of you who do stick around, hello. Enjoy the topics that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to step over here to get the checkpoint, and then consistently activate that Thunder Tiki, and then we'll eventually get through this. I'm going to start with some questions that people have asked me in various Discord servers when I've asked around for people doing stuff with this for me. And the first thing that somebody just decided to ask me is, they asked me, what is your favorite kind of tree and why? And honestly, I don't really have too much of an answer for this, unfortunately. There are plenty of trees that I really know, but I don't really think I have a favorite, because I don't really think about trees all that often. But if you want to think about that in terms of Minecraft, I do like the dark oak trees quite a bit. That one has always been my favorite ever since they've been released. And, I actually do have somewhat of a real-life answer. I guess cherry blossom trees, because I think their pink leaves are kind of pretty. But I'm sorry for the non-answer that I gave here. Then, another person asked me, do aliens have a visual meter? I don't quite understand what this question is supposed to mean, to be fully honest with you. But to answer your question, I imagine that they might have a scanner to detect humans or something. That could be a plot in a cartoon, something like that, but other than that, I have no idea what you're trying to ask me. However, the same person asked me what obscure dessert I would like to try, and I actually have two separate answers for this. One of them is fried ice cream, which, like, it sounds extremely unhealthy, but honestly, it seems like it might taste pretty good depending on the person, and I want to see which camp I'm in, really. The other one is tiramisu, which is an Italian dessert that I've seen. It's like kind of a coffee cake.
SpongeBob's underwear fits quite
And
particles.
even though I'm not much of a fan of coffee, I think the sweetness of the cake would balance it out, and it might taste alright.
Oh yeah. I forget.
Another person also asked me a batch of two questions, one silly and one serious. The silly question he asked me is, Jerry had 5 apples and Tom had none. Tom took 2 of Jerry's apples. Jerry rolled a bowling ball onto Tom's head while he ate 1 apple, and Jerry took the rest. How many bananas does Jerry have? And, well, I'm sorry, dude, but I, again, don't exactly understand this silly question. But if you're asking about bananas, then he has 0. But if you mean apples, he would have 4, since Tom ate 1 of the 5, so Jerry would have 5. Or, I mean, Jerry would only have 4 of the apples.
That's much better.
However, the same person also had a serious question for me. He asked, if I could go anywhere in the universe, survive, and get back safely, where would I go? And if I had to go anywhere outside of the Milky Way to confirm that there's actual living proof of other extraterrestrial life, I think I would. It would be a pretty cool experience if they actually really did exist. And if they didn't, then I guess that's just like kind of narrowing down the answer. I've always personally thought that aliens might exist just because the world is just too big for aliens to not be real, if you ask me. But it would be nice to get a concrete answer for that instead of mere speculation.
Wooden presents.
So those are all of the questions that I received when I asked around in a few communities. So now I'm instead going to talk about various topics, whether they were suggested or not. A couple
That's much better.
a couple topics that really were suggested were Total Drama and Mario. Well, so I'm going to go over Total Drama first, since I know about that one. Actually, I'm going to go over Mario first. Sorry, I read my notes wrong. I'm going to go after Mario first, because I know that one a little bit less than I know Total Drama, even though I like them both a lot. And so, favorite Mario games that I've played while I haven't really played too many Mario games traditionally, I did like New Super Mario Bros. Wii growing up, and I do have Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, and that's a pretty alright game, even if I'm not a huge fan of the control scheme. I am a pretty big fan of Mario Party though, and Mario Kart. I honestly think Mario Party 9 is pretty fun, and I admire how they try to do something different, even if it didn't quite work out too well. I like a lot of the minigames, and Magma Mine really handled the car mechanic very well. But, but I can understand why people might have an issue with it. That's where I was going to take that thought. In terms of shipping, the only Mario ship I seriously ship would probably be Luigi X Daisy. And yeah, I do like the statue and Daisy Circuit. I do like to make jokes about it sometimes. I do admit the existence of stuff like Yoshi X Birdo or Peach X Mario, but I just really like the way that I think about Luigi and Daisy in my head, of Luigi being a more socially awkward guy, while Daisy is just like really outgoing and eccentric, and that's kind of what Luigi likes about her, and Daisy likes the same things that Luigi has about him. And that kind of ties into my favorite Total Drama ship as well, which is Sammy X Ella, which is unfortunately not canon. There aren't even any hints of that. The closest thing we have to an interaction is the fact that Sammy just kind of smiled when Ella was singing in the first episode. But that doesn't stop me from being able to ship the two. They're just really cute, and I find them pretty similar to Luigi in a way, with like Sammy taking Luigi's role, Ella takes Daisy's role, which is kind of fitting because both of them dress like a princess. But I think Ella would take it up to 11 even more. She'd give Sammy way more compliments than Daisy would give to Luigi. And just so much endless positivity in Sammy's life, which she really didn't have before meeting Ella. And I think they could help each other out with their problems, like how Ella is a bit too trusting of people, so Sammy would help her with that. And she'd help Sammy in return by helping her not trust people like Sugar that only really want to harm her. And I also don't think either of them would be extremely judgmental about anything, and Ella would help Sammy with her self-esteem too.
That's much better.
And, well, even though I already liked Sammy XL a lot, there's kind of more special value to it, and like,
You broke my rhythm.
I know that someone watching it, she might know why.
Play is a whistle.
She knows who she is if she's watching. But she's kind of the Ella in my own relationship that I only got in recently. It would be a month and a day at the time of recording this. So she just showers me with a lot of love and kindness. Just able to help out with so many issues. But I'm not gonna get into that because it's a bit too personal to discuss while playing a SpongeBob game. But I know you're watching. I love you. I'm not gonna say your name, just to respect your privacy, but I just want you to know that. Even though I know you already do. I know it probably means a lot to hear it from me. Alright. Some sappy stuff aside. As for more stuff about Total Drama, Redonkulous Race is my favorite season. I love its pace, the challenges, and locations. Just about every character and team is great besides MacArthur once the Step Brothers get out of there. Because I really like Kitty, especially. Kitty and the Rockers are easily some of my favorites. The Ice Dancers as well, because I appreciate how funny they are. And Kitty is just another cute character that I like. Cuteness is the thing that I really value in a lot of characters. Although one thing I really don't like is how the Rockers got eliminated because Dawn was just like, oh no! Oh, I forgot, it's a double elimination, and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still not happy about that whenever I watch the season, because the next leg was a non-elimination, so just eliminate the Rockers there. I am completely fine with where they placed. It was their time to go. As much as I like them, I can admit that. As for other various Total Drama opinions, like I said, I value cuteness in a lot of characters, so Ella is my favorite, but even though, despite that, my second place character really is not actually all that cute. Right now, my second favorite is Izzy, who's extremely chaotic about everything. This is like, oh, yeah, that's a wild contrast there. I'm actually out of notes to read right now because I kind of stopped writing down topics to talk about. So this is just kind of improv, so I'm sorry if I kind of...
SpongeBob's underwear fits quite right.
So I'm sorry if I kind of trip over my words a bit more than I already have been. Because it's like 11 at night when I'm recording this. But, I had some topics in my mind that I was thinking about, but I don't remember what all of them were, or as a matter of fact, what any of them were, really. So, I'll just keep talking about whatever comes to my mind. Oh, that was it. Okay, well, you came to a thing about SpongeBob, a Let's Play about some guy playing SpongeBob, a game that he loves. It's maybe a bit too much that he sunk a ton of hours into. Well, obviously I'm gonna love SpongeBob as a show. It is just probably my favorite of all time. Like, but just because it's my favorite of all time doesn't mean there aren't things I dislike about it. So I'm gonna get some of the more negatives out of the way. I actually don't like Season 1 as much as a lot of people do, because there are just quite a few episodes that I think are a bit boring or mean-spirited for what they are, even considering how early it is. Like, the episode Jellyfishing, it's just... It feels like a Squidward torture episode. Squidward really didn't do much wrong. He just said, no, I don't want to go jellyfishing with you guys, and he just got beaten and battered for basically nothing because of that, and it's just... I don't think it feels very right. And another
That's much
episode
better.
that I think was kind of annoying from season 1 was Ripped Pants. It's not an awful episode by any means, but I'm not as much of a fan of the song as a lot of people
Hey,
are.
what just happened?
And,
Oh, clean as a whistle.
and like, I think all of the jokes in the episode just kind of miss. I think SpongeBob and Sandy having their moment at the beginning of the episode was kind of cute, but that was kind of ruined as soon as they got to the weightlifting competition.
This one goes boom. Ouch.
And, like, I get that the point is that SpongeBob ripping his pants was supposed to be annoying. But, like, it was annoying not just in universe, but out of universe as well. And I don't think that was really such a good decision. I do think the joke at the very end of the episode, with the whole sign my pants joke thing, that one does kind of get like an immature smile out of me, but that's really the only time I find any humor out of the episode. So, I genuinely think it's probably the most overrated episode in all of SpongeBob, as much as I hate using the word overrated. Another episode from season 1 that I really don't like too much is Hooky. That's like not quite my least favorite. But all of the episodes just, at worst, they get apathy, and at worst they get a groan or an eye roll. I really don't like the way Patrick acts in that whole episode. And I understand what they were trying to give a moral. That's like one of the few points I actually can give the episode. And the my sandwich is a fried boot gag isn't too bad, I guess. Like, but again, that's the only time I can find any humor in the episode. Like, it's just, ugh. The ending of the episode just felt really mean-spirited. Like, I feel like I would be more fine with it if SpongeBob didn't have to get tempted into doing it. Like, if he was just, if he had just done it on his own, it would have felt more deserved. That's why I don't really mind pranks a lot, despite it having a pretty similar ending. But enough negativity about Season 1. There's still plenty of Season 1 episodes that are great. Like, Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost. That one doesn't get talked about enough. That one, I consistently laugh all the time whenever I watch that episode. Like the one watermelon fresh from the manure fields, your spookiness. Or the okay, get in joke. Really fun and to watch for me. And I have gone back and watched the episode on its own a couple times. And like I have done with a couple other SpongeBob episodes as well.
That's much better.
It's just that good to me. Pickles is probably my favorite from Season 1. No, it's not Pizza Delivery, although Pizza Delivery is pretty close up there. Because I just, like, I admire how it's, like, trying to like, be confident in yourself, don't crumble after just one mistake. Like, a lot of SpongeBob episodes have morals, but I like... I like the way a lot of them are handled, but I like the way Pickles is handled a lot. It genuinely might be in my top 10 favorite episodes of all time.
Is this all? I thought it was gonna be an ice cream.
And favorite episode of all time? That would probably have to go to, obviously Band Geeks. Like, that one has been talked about to death. So I really don't want to go into depth with it, but I just think it's, like, the absolute perfect episode. It is definitely... excuse me, sorry. It is definitely the cream of the crop of SpongeBob. The drama, the humor, or the writing, the fact that Squidward wins. I love all of it. Like I said, I'm not going to delve into too many moments, so instead I'm just going to talk about my second favorite episode, which is SpongeBob Meets the Strangler from Season 3. It's like, it's similar to Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, where it's just like, just about every line is gonna get a laugh out of me. It's like, one of my favorite moments is just how SpongeBob just casually calls his bodyguard Strangler. Oops, I mean bodyguard. And he just doesn't question it at all. It just implies that SpongeBob was just screwing with the burglar, not the burglar, the Strangler the whole time. Either that or SpongeBob is really just that oblivious. Either way, it was very funny to me just to see it all go down like that. And then there are also even some, I'm not gonna say modern SpongeBob because season 6 through 8 of SpongeBob aired a decade ago, so middle season SpongeBob. Like, even what people consider to be the dark era of SpongeBob, which I consider it to be that as well. But I actually don't think it's that bad. And at the end of the day, because there are plenty of good episodes in there, like, It's a SpongeBob Christmas. Maybe it's just how much I've always loved Christmas, or maybe it's some nostalgia, because I would watch that episode a lot whenever I was sick and had to stay home from school. That was always like, we had that episode pre-recorded, so my dad or my Nana would play it for me. My Nana is my grandma, by the way. We just call her Nana because that's what she wants to be called.
Don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits quite
But
right.
either way, she would put that on for me when I was feeling ill and I was at my dad's house, and it was just it's just a really wholesome episode with a very good main song. Christmas Who is another very good episode. I think I like Christmas Who a little bit more than It's a SpongeBob Christmas, but like, both of them are some very good SpongeBob episodes, and if you haven't seen them, I recommend those two. I actually watch those two every year whenever the time comes. I've been doing that for a couple years now.
Don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits
And I
quite
also
right.
listen to The Very First Christmas and Don't Be a Jerk all the time around that year, around that time of year. I could probably just sing the lyrics from memory, which I have done before sometimes when I'm just in the shower. I'll just start singing it, and yeah.
That's much better. Don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits quite right.
I just realized I've been going on about SpongeBob ever since I ran out of topics, pretty much. Oh well, I hope that isn't annoying to any of you. If literally anybody is still listening. I know there's probably one person that still is, and I mentioned her earlier, but yeah, I don't know if anybody else really is, unless you're just putting this on for background noise, in which case I won't blame you.
That's much better.
Hey, person listening for background noise, what's the capital of Denmark? Why is that the question that I came up with? Do I even know the capital of Denmark? Yes, I do, Copenhagen.
Here's a whistle.
Why do I know that? Whatever. Anyways, if you are listening, name the capital of 3 various countries. Not including Denmark, because I already told you.
Right.
Well, let's see. Huh, you know, that reminds me, like, I had to do this project in high school. Not high school, elementary school. Like, late elementary school, 5th or 6th grade. I had to do research on a state, but I didn't understand that I was supposed to do research on it.
I don't think
So when I was
SpongeBob's
told I
underwear
had to
fits
do,
quite right.
so once I was told I had to do research, when I was told I had to select a state to do a project on, I somehow didn't really get that, and I like ran out of states that I actually knew about because
Ouch!
everybody else already picked them. I had like Florida, Oregon, uh, stuff like that. I don't remember. Oh, Texas as well, because I was like, I mentioned
That's
earlier
much
how
better.
Sandy was my favorite character in elementary school. Earlier in the series, that is. So yeah, of course I was gonna try for Texas,
Oh yeah.
but I never got anything that I wanted,
Oh,
and like I was just like kind of, I got upset about it because I didn't understand that, and I started crying about it, and like people were looking at me weirdly, and like there was this one girl that told me that I should just pick like, hey, North Dakota or something,
underwear fits quite right.
and I was like, and I still didn't really get it after that. I have ended up picking South Dakota instead. And like, I, I expressed what the problem was to my teacher, and she just told me that I was supposed to do research, and I was like, oh. I don't think I had ever actually done a project that required research before that, so that's probably why I was so upset about it.
Hard as a rock. Ouch! Oof! Hey, my back feels better. Tartar sauce. This one goes boom. Oh!
Just me being dumb and autistic still happens to this day.
Okay, so now what? Oh, that's much better.
You still with me, guys? 9,000 shiny objects to go.
Ouch! Right as a whistle. I don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits quite right.
You know, I should probably keep you engaged by still talking, but I wouldn't say I'm fresh out of topics, I just can't really think of anything
That's much
else
better.
to... Oh, right, I remember another stupid thing I did in school was like, I was having this history exam. I don't remember what any of the other questions were, but I remember where was the Declaration of Independence signed
SpongeBob's
was one of the
underwear fits quite
questions
right.
on it, and I didn't know what the answer was. I know it now, it's Philadelphia, but back then I did not. So I answered at the bottom, and like, I got a mark that said, I guess, because the teacher had a sense of humor, and she actually did give me the point, and I ended up passing with a flat 70% C minus, and in my school, D's were not considered passing. So I was like, oh, alright.
Rhythm. Now I'm gonna break something of yours.
Wait, I think she ended up telling me, like, I shouldn't have given you that point or something. And, I mean, I was a pretty happy camper about it, but... That was, like, around my era of, I don't really care about school. So... Like,
Right as a whistle.
after a while, passing was still enough for me, but, like... like, later on in high school, I did start having to, like, actually try at least a little bit.
That's much better. Oh, right as a whistle.
Not quite sure where I was going with that. Sorry for the abrupt stop. Abrupt pause? Whatever, you get what I'm trying to
What
say.
just happened? I don't think SpongeBob's underwear fits quite right.
Wait a second, am I missing a spatula? 8 Mr. Krabs spatulas, 87. What am I missing? 8 Mr. Krabs spatulas. That's 89. 97. Oh! Whoops, I never got the museum's art. Okay.
That's much better.
I did get that on the PS4 file. I remember that. I just forgot it on the PS5 one.
What is a whistle?
I'll get that off camera.
Ooh, a present in every one.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody who did. I'll probably leave a timestamp on the screen for where to go if people don't care about my rambling, which I'm sure there are some. I'm sure there are a lot of people who don't care about that, actually. Yell at me in the comments if this episode is too long.
I'm rollerific.
SpongeBob, this flapping robot crisis is making the Krusty Krab lose money like a sinking ship. No money means no more Krusty Krab. No more Krusty Krab means no more fry cooking for you.
No more fry cooking?
But because you're gullible, I'm gonna help you out. And of course make a small profit in return. I've got a few golden spatulas that I'll be willing to trade to you for some of those shiny objects.
Sorry, my brother entered here for a minute.
So,
Oops. I should probably.
So, do you want to trade shiny objects for a golden spatula? That's quality craftsmanship, that is.
And if you say no.
Do you want to trade? Alrighty then. Come back when you're ready to trade. So that. The only good robot is the one that's given me them shiny objects.
In the original game, you could not stack them up like this. It would just not let you. And now we need to go to Patrick.
Wow, SpongeBob, you found some!
Now they're back home, safe where they belong.
Here's your golden back scratcher.
Spatula.
I don't speak Italian.
That's a reference to the episode. I want to say it's Wormy, where Sandy has like this bluebird in the tree dome, and SpongeBob's like, "Wow, I didn't know you spoke bird." And Patrick, "No, SpongeBob, that's Italian."
Wow, Wow,
Now they're back home, safe.
wow, Sponge. Wow, Sponge. Wow, Sponge. Wow, Sponge. Wow, Sponge.
And here's what he says when you talk to him after you've already made all the trades.
Now if I could only find my other sock.
It's on your head, remember?
Well, of course. Now where did I put it?
Alright. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you did, and if you just skipped to the end to see the Mr. Krabs and Patrick trades, well, thank you for watching what you did anyways. I'll see you guys next time for the final boss of the game.